Hello, hello. Welcome to the 11th Hour Shaman podcast. I'm your hostess, Theresa Gutierrez. Today really dives into the benefits of being the healthy social creatures we humans can be. But first, let's take a moment to inhale deeply through the nose, exhaling through the mouth with a sigh. Allowing your shoulders to drop, allowing your chest and belly to soften as you breathe with me. And listen to the exciting stuff that's coming up. When two people enter a healing space, whether they're in the same room across cities, states, or oceans, their bodies begin to sync up. Dr. Elmer Green, Dr. Norman Shealy, and others recorded the following results. The brain waves of healer and receiver begin to match. Their breathing patterns begin to align, and their hearts begin to beat in a similar rhythm. This is called physiological entrainment. You've experienced this without even knowing it. When you sit with a calm person, you may tend to calm down. When you sit with someone really anxious, you may notice that your body gets tense. When you sit with someone grieving, you may notice that your heart rate slows in empathy and concern. We are always syncing up with someone. The question is, who and to what frequency? Like, is this good for me? And this is also where the angels can come in. So when I work, whether in person or remotely, I don't quote unquote send energy. I enter a field of love and I invite the angels to help hold that energy. Their presence changes the frequency of the space. And by restoring the natural coherence of the human heart, they tend to feel a shift in their energy. So I don't make healing happen, I invite it. I feel Spirit's love for my clients, and then I watch what happens. The angels help us every time. Now, here's the bridge between science and spirit. We have different emotions that produce different electromagnetic frequencies in the body. So, fear, stress, grief, resentment, as examples, create an erratic, chaotic heart rhythm, which signals the brain to stay in survival mode, which contracts and tenses the body, and that shuts down natural healing processes. However, elevated emotions such as love, gratitude, compassion, and safety, they create a smooth, coherent heart rhythm, which signals the brain and body that it's safe, which opens up the body's systems to the natural healing processes, to repair, and to new possibilities in one's life. So it elevates the physical mechanisms which help shift our thought processes. So, this is what heart math calls coherence. When I enter a healing session, I shift myself into coherence first, and then my clients, or if it's you, your body would then entrain to that, just like two tuning forks. This is how remote healing works, not through effort, but through resonance. Your thoughts plus your emotions equal your frequency or your broadcast. Like they would say a radio broadcast, we have human broadcast in our own biofield. So here's the basic cycle. A thought triggers a chemical reaction in the brain that creates an emotion. And that emotion fuels our actions or inactions or reactions. And that leads to a result, which then reinforces the original thought. So, this is the loop that shapes anxiety patterns, emotional wounds, chronic stress, physical symptoms, and even the stories we tell about ourselves, the stories we tell about who we are. And unfortunately, they can be stuck in a very unhealthy loop. But when we heal, we interrupt that loop. We introduce in energy healing a new emotional frequency, usually love and gratitude. We also introduce that feeling through love of being safe and feeling witnessed without judgment, being heard without judgment. And the entire loop begins to reorganize. This is how healing works at the nervous system level. This is how trauma patterns release. This is how grief softens. This is how people begin to feel like themselves again. Just like my client from part 5 of this Spirit and Science of Energy Healing series, we increased the frequency of her biofield with Reiki sessions. And then her outlook on life and her ability to handle life and its stressors began to shift. Her thoughts began to shift to a higher frequency. And next, her behavior or her actions of being stuck on the couch shifted to one of movement and freedom. She was finally able to make other positive changes in her life during this entire process, well beyond her original goal of being able to live her life without depression medications. If you haven't heard that episode, I really encourage you to go back and listen to it. It is such a beautiful example of what's possible. This works in person and remotely. This work opens us up to the innate divine potential that we carry in this crazy thing we call Earth life. Thank goodness. So let's soak it all in. If it's safe for you and you're not driving, place one hand over your heart and one hand over your solar plexus. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale slowly with a sigh. Now, simply imagine as you continue to breathe that someone loving is right beside you, not fixing you and not judging you. Imagine this someone is just there to love you, just be with you. Maybe that presence feels like God's source. Maybe that presence feels like your grandmother or your guardian angel, or simply love itself. You don't need to see it with your eyes. Just notice if your breath softens even 1%. Just notice how the energy in the air feels against your skin. I often see color shifts behind my closed eyes. I'll feel pulsations of energy in my brain, and I'm always like, thank you, angels, for fixing my brain right now. Sometimes I feel waves of unconditional divine love. You just never know. But if the only change you feel is that your breath begins to soften, that's enough. That is coherence beginning, healing enhanced right now. So if you want to go deeper, I made a free Reiki Angel healing audio to help you connect with your angels and calm your nervous system. I love this little audio, so I hope you do too. You'll be able to get to that in the show notes below. If you are ready to get some support in your life and you're tired of carrying so much all by yourself, you are welcome to book a free consult to work with me. I would love to talk with you. And you can find the information for that also below. In the next episode, we're going to talk about how these emotions and our intentions actually affect our DNA and why your body is far more miraculous than you've ever been told, and how this affects the generations backward and forward. This is beautiful stuff. So, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting your heart soften with mine. Thank you for remembering that you're not alone at all. I'm here, and your angels are with you right now. So, have an amazing week with that big open heart of yours. Until next time, bye for now.